Nearly hold that one. And I hit my 8 iron around about 170 yards through the air. And I do that with just 23.5 miles an hour of hand speed. So let's just take that sensor off. And the first thing I'm gonna do is gonna bring in this impact bag. And I'm gonna take you back to maybe your days of being a young child going to the fairground. And you've probably been at the fairground and you've seen that game where you pick up the hammer and you have to hit the little thing that's there, and the thing shoots up and it hopefully rings the bell at the top. So if we do that, and I'm going to use obviously my golf club, this bag as a reference, what you would probably start to realise is that how you move this part of the club and the shape that that makes is key. Because what I would do if I wanted to hit my golf club into that bag as hard as I could, I would be taking this end of the golf club and I would have a certain movement in it. I would be pulling it down and into my body. And if I do that, the club has a lot of speed. So I would go this way, down, and the club has a lot of speed. My focus is on this end. What I'm not trying to do in that little demonstration is I'm not trying to take the club head and accelerate it out to the bag, because if I do that, it's weaker. And actually, if we look at the club head, it takes a longer journey to get to the bag versus this one. So when I'm making this little demonstration, I'm really all thinking about the direction that I'm moving the handle in. And because I'm thinking about the direction I'm moving the handle in, I could do it with just my index finger and my thumb. And if I do that, I still have as much speed because I don't need a big strong grip on the golf club. If I was to move the grip in this direction, I can move it as fast as I physically could, but that doesn't accelerate the club head. It's the direction of movement that does. The same exact thing happens in the golf swing, or it should happen in the golf swing. So what I'm really looking to do is, in my golf swing from here, I'm not looking to accelerate that club this way, because we've just shown how that's not the best way to put speed into the golf club, and it expends a lot of energy and it actually doesn't give us more speed. What we are actually looking to do is, if I was to go down the hand a little bit, is we're looking to accelerate the hands down to here. 23, 24 miles an hour is all that you need. But then we're really looking at what we do with this end of the golf club. Can we get the grip end of the club to move upwards and into your body? It's no different to what we've just done with that little demonstration in the bag. The only difference is we've got a golf club and a golf ball as opposed to a hammer. So the first little exercise is all to do with getting some more speed in your hands and having that speed at the right part of the golf swing. On that swing there with my 8 iron, we saw it was 23.5 miles an hour. That speed peaked around about this area in the downswing, so we'll call it around about waist high. So the first little exercise you're going to do, you're going to get yourself an alignment stick or two, as I've got here, and you're going to take your normal setup and you're going to grip them as normal. You're going to make a backswing, and the idea is you're going to try and accelerate your hands down towards an area where the club shaft, or in this case the alignment sticks, will be about horizontal, and then you're going to break your hands. You're going to slow them down. And as you slow them down, we're looking to see if we can bend the alignment sticks in this fashion here. We're looking to put as much stress in those as we can. Let me show you what I mean and it'll become a little bit clearer. So I'm going to go up to the top, accelerate and slow down. So hopefully you can see that there's a big acceleration in my hands, but they slow down. They slow down, and what happens is this end starts to kick. We can then accelerate that even more by what we do with the grip end of the alignment stick. So that little exercise is brilliant. I'd urge everybody to have a little go at that. One alignment stick, or even two if you've got them, and just practice how much bend can you create in the alignment stick. The only way you can create bend is huge acceleration and then huge deceleration to create that out there. If we take that back to that hammer, that was the acceleration, but then we slow it down. So that's our first little exercise. What we then need to do, and this is where you might need a tee for this, we need to look at what we do with the grip end of the golf club. That's the really key movement now. Once we've got that acceleration and that deceleration, is can we get this end of the alignment stick to move correctly through the golf ball? So here's what you're going to do. You're going to be taking your normal grip on the golf club and you're going to split your grip. So you're going to take your trail hand, you're going to put a couple of fingers down onto the metal. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back up to the top and you're going to try and get the grip end of the club, or the butt end, lower at this point here than it was at setup. So if we look at where the grip was at setup, it's here. At that point in my downswing, I'm trying to get that grip lower than where it was. Remember, at this point, the hands have already begun to slow down. What I then have to worry about is trying to get this grip to move upwards into my body. So let me show you that now. Grip moves upwards into my body. And you can see how having my split grip starts to enable me to feel and sense that happening probably more than it would actually in a golf swing. Now, what you may notice from that face on camera is that when I do that, my left arm is buckled, my left wrist is buckled. There's a reason for that. It's because I haven't pivoted my body out the way. That's the final piece of this jigsaw. If the grip is going to be coming upwards and inwards, we need to support that with a movement of the body. And then we can start to see how we get all of those pieces fitting together nicely. So the best way to get efficiency in that golf club, to get it accelerating, to get it almost slinging out towards the golf ball, is to accelerate the hands early. They then slow down. The grip gets lower at this point than it was at setup. The butt end of the club then starts to move upwards and inwards, and that movement is supported by what your body is doing and how that body is moving out the way. And if you can do that, what we are effectively saying is that you're moving this end of the golf club in this curved fashion. And you can see how as soon as I put that curved movement into that grip, the club head accelerates. That's how we play golf. That's how we get that really effortless power into that club that the best players in the world do. So you'll notice that I did tee this ball up, and this is how I'd have you practicing. Take an address, split that grip up to the top, accelerate the hands and slow them down, and then all I do is I pivot out the way and let the ball get in between the club. And notice how my follow-through position, I'm still nice and structured. My legs have pivoted, my shoulders risen. I'm on my left side and the club is as far away from me as it could be. The ball's gone 20 yards. At this stage, we're looking at developing the movement, understanding the movement before we really start to put the speed in. What you can then start to do is blend that a little bit more and start to hit some shots over a slightly greater distance. So on this particular shot, I'm certainly not going to reach the green, but I'm going to do the same movements, but this time with a normal grip rather than a split grip. So up, hands get lower than they were at address, and then I pivot out the way, pull the grip up, let the club sling out to the ball. And again, that ball's probably in the water, but it's okay, it was only a practice ball. There's my follow through, there's my extended position at the end, club head far away from me, and even on that ball that's, you know, gone 60, 70 yards, I could still feel that club head accelerating out into the golf ball. That's how you do it. Accelerate the hands, slow them down, get the grip end of the club to move correctly, and support that with the right body movement. Do all those things, and with just 23.5 mile an hour speed in your hands, you could be hitting your ace iron 170 yards, if not further.